My definition of yogurt is broad. It includes any fermented milk. You don't need any complicated recipes or equipment, just a jar and a spoon. Play around, experiment, and have fun. Your starter will come from any yogurt or kefir that contains live culture. You can also use freeze-dried yogurt starter. I recommend strongly Lifeware Kefir. It has 12 different organisms, which produces better quality of yogurt. Also, kefir grows at room temperature. Later, you will continue using a tablespoon of your homemade yogurt as a starter. Don't use more than a tablespoon of starter per quart of milk, because organisms don't grow well if they are crowded. You can use any type of milk, 1%, 2%, full or skim, even sheep or goat milk if you like. The ideal would be non-processed farm milk with no additives. You need to boil milk, even the pasteurized one, because boiling changes the structure of milk proteins. Use a stainless steel pot to boil the milk. Rinse the pot in cold water before adding milk, so it's easier to clean afterwards. Once you add the milk, cover the pot to prevent the formation of a skin on the top of your milk. Heat the milk slowly, so it's less likely to scorch. You want to boil the milk until it foams. You can also use a microwave to boil your milk. If you are worried about the milk scorching, you can buy a milk boiler, double boiler, or a bain-marie. But you don't really need it. I've been using a regular stainless steel pot for years and it works just fine. Put a pot of hot milk in a bath of cold water in order to cool it down to a pleasantly warm temperature, which is about 110 degrees. You really don't need a thermometer for this. Now you want to put your warm milk into containers. I strongly recommend using glass containers. You can use whatever size or shape is convenient for you. Most of the time I use 1-quart mason jars. Place a tablespoon of your starter in your quart mason jar. Mix it well, preferably with a wooden spoon. Add your warm milk and mix it all together. Cover the jar. Your mixture should ferment in a warm, undisturbed place. I usually place my jars on a kitchen counter and cover them with towels. If you don't have a warm spot, you can cover your jars with a heating pad on a low setting. Ideally, the temperature should be warm enough for the organisms to grow, but not too warm. Your goal is not quick fermentation. Slow growth over 10 to 12 hours allows for the best flavor and consistency. Depending on temperature and preference, anywhere from 5 to 12 hours will be fine. If your yogurt is still liquid after 12 hours, you can salvage it by putting it in warm bath. Once your yogurt is firm, place it in the fridge. It should last up to 10 days. If you're interested in learning more about yogurt making and fermentation, I would highly recommend these books: Wild Fermentation by Sandor Katz and Science and Lore of the Kitchen by Harold McGee.